So I woke up pretty early today, right? But the reason why it took me so long to get this review out because you see, when I make a video, I have to be in the basement all by myself, right? That's how I make a video without any distraction, without any noise in the background. But I stay upstairs for the longest time, debating whether should I film my review upstairs, which is not ideal, or just not do the review at all. But I scratched both of those ideas, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna grow a pair. I'm gonna go downstairs. That rhymes. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Bars. From now on, like in this room, every single dark corners is a potential threat. Now, Hereditary is a feature debut for Ari Aster. And what he was able to accomplish with this movie is astonishing because rarely does a director direct his first movie and made it a classic, a modern classic, and just set a new bar of the genre. That's what he did with this movie. This is easily one of the best horror movie ever made. So good luck to all the future horror directors out there. Good luck topping that, man. My biggest concern going in is that this movie is going to be one of those like art house horror that is not all that scary, but kind of creepy, but is really well made, and this all has good writings, and critics they love those movies like The Witch and It Comes at Night. Both movies are produced by the A24 company, and I don't want to say that I hate those two movies. They are certainly very well made, very well acted, well directed. It's really insanely well made, but it didn't scare me. One of you actually pointed out in my initial thought videos that It Comes at Night is not really a horror movie. It's just a really thrilling family drama, but falsely advertised as a horror, and I agree with you. But The Witch is a horror movie, but the type of horror movie that is not scary to me. So that was my biggest concern going in, is that this Hereditary movie excuse me, is going to be like that. And I would say like the first 20 to 30 minutes, like the first act, kind of reminded me of The Witch because, again, insanely well made, extremely well directed, beautifully shot and beautifully acted. But for some reason, it's not scary. The first act of this movie is all family drama. There's no horror, very little horror in the first act. So right there, I was a bit bored, to be honest with you guys. But that was the intention all along. The director, Ari Aster, he wanted to build a real family, a real sort of situation for these characters first. And then when the horror kicks in, you care about these characters. You want these characters to be safe. You don't want them to get killed, to get hurt. And it made the second and especially the third act that much more impactful. Without that first act, it was just kind of boring and just a lot of setting up, a lot of character work. But without that first act, the second and third act of this movie would not be as good as they are. So think of it like this. The family story is like a straight line throughout the movie. First, second, and third act. It's just like a stable line, right? It's in many ways it's the backbone of the plot. And then this is the horror. So first act, right? Second and third act. The horror of the third act is way up there, man. I'm telling you, it just some of the creepiest. I got goosebumps thinking about it right now. It's so scary, and it's horrifying to think about. But I have to think about it to make this review. Back in the day, I hated horror movie, and very recently that I got into modern horror, and then I started to watch horror movie and start to appreciate them a little bit more. And this is something else, man. Like this might be the movie that gotta get me right back to my younger self when I hated horror movie, where I just say no to horror movie and just do not watch horror movie like at all. This might be that movie, man. I'm telling you, this. Ooh, Oh, and the performance in this movie just it is insanely good. Two in particular that I feel like should get at least nominated for an Oscar or Golden Globe or just some type of award. Like these two actors just act the shit out of their roles, and that is Toni Collette and Alex Wolff as Annie and Peter, respectively. These are the type of performance that make me feel ashamed to even call myself an actor. Like, if that's acting, whatever I've been doing my whole life is bullshit. Like, what I'm doing is not acting. That's right there is acting. This is something else, man. This is garbage. There's one scene of Alex Wolff and his character and sister play brilliantly by Millie Shapiro in her first movie role, actually. In a car, the two of them in a car, and that's all I'm gonna say. But God, that scene it hit me right here, man. Like it hit me so hard, and the acting of Alex Wolff in this scene is phenomenal. Like, how do you even direct an actor to act like that? And Toni Collette, oh my God, this woman kicked ass in this movie. This woman brought her A game in this movie, man. Like, oh, this is some of the best acting that I've seen all years. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. This is some of the best, if not the best, acting from an actress so far this year. This role it asks so much of her. It asks her to deliver so much, not just as an actress, but as a human being. How she just like, in one scene, she's just all crying, and then all of a sudden she like straight face, and then she'd be angry, like physically, vocally, and emotionally. Like, this is the type of roles that would fuck you up for life. And if you're not, if you don't have like a strong mind, a role like this would really fuck with your head, man. And you know, like I'm not wearing a hat right now, but you know, like hats off to you, ma'am, Toni Collette, for that performance. There are a couple of scenes where certain character has to do a lot of explaining and exposition. There was a lot of telling and not showing, but it was done in such a way that it didn't feel like the writer is just dumping information on the audience. The exposition in this movie felt genuine, and it felt like it's moving the plot forward, and it's moving the character forward, and it was done in such a way, man. It makes sense for the characters to, in that situation, to explain things and to tell stories. You know, we talk about exposition in movies like it's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like anything in movie. If it's done right, it's good. If it's done wrong, it's bad. Remember when James Wan, he developed this technique of directing a horror sequence of, you know, just showing the entity or the ghost or the demon just on screen with, you know, shoot it with a Y, and just show it, you know, without any exaggerating noise or without the jump scare. Just show the thing on screen, right? So that's something that was invented by James Wan, I think. I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. But I think James Wan developed that technique. In this film, Ari Aster, he perfected the formula. There are, I count only exactly two jump scare, and they're all really, really good scare. None of them are like false scare when like you're looking into like a box and then like a cat jumps out, or nothing like that, man. All these scare in this movie are so real, and it felt personal. It felt personal because, you know, growing up, there's always this fear in us that, you know, we think we see something, but then when we turn, it's not there. But what if the thing was there, but when you turn, the thing move, you know, behind you, or move somewhere else where you can't see it. So just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. And Ari Aster, man, he found a way to show these imagery that is so disturbing and so horrifying, and yet so beautiful. And he found a way to film these sequences that was just mind blowing. Like, I was looking at it, and it felt real. It felt like when I was a kid, and you know, you're in bed, and you know, you turn the lights down, and you know, all of a sudden you think you see something in the dark corner, but you're not sure. So I'm getting scared talking about it right now. Like, what if there's something behind me? Okay. Hereditary is definitely a slow burn, like again, you're not gonna get a lot of scare in the first act. But I urge you guys not to check out. Once you got through that first act, the movie got just so much more exciting and so much scarier. But no, I'm not saying it in the sense that you should ignore the first act. No, the first act did a good job setting up these characters, setting up the conflict. So when those horrifying things happen, you care that much more, and it is so much more impactful because of that first act. And that third act was so good because the first two acts did such a great job setting it up. So it is definitely a slow burn, and just be patient with it. This movie is it is a masterpiece, and Ari Aster he really did set a new bar for the genre, and I honestly don't see a lot of director topping that. I'm gonna give Hereditary a 9 out of 10. There's a lot of movie in theater right now, and it's easy for us to ignore the horror, the indie movie. But I'm not saying not going to see Upgrade or Hotel Artemis or Ocean 8. Go see what you want to see, but don't forget about Hereditary. So guys, if you got a chance to see Hereditary, let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And if you enjoyed my review, hit the like button and subscribe. You want to see more reviews like this. And with that being said, I'll see you soon.